But Jose Ramirez, fingers crossed. We know he's going to come back. The question is, a lot of times when they come back from these hamate bones, the power is the last thing to return.
Yeah.
He hadn't been right all year. He's not been Jose Ramirez.
You said it from spring training, by the way.
Spring training. And
to your credit.
And there were people, by the way, that day that I did the report for UCSS and I said that, there were people with the Guardians and there were fans within earshot of me saying that.
Yeah.
And I felt their eyeballs burning a hole in my soul as I was breaking up the live shot and leaving because it was blasphemy what I was saying. And basically what I said was, I just have the sense that this is the year we start to see age and decline in Jose Ramirez. It was just from watching him every day at BP. The sound was different. You know how you can tell the sound
was
a little bit different? The balls that normally were going over the fence while they were still going up were falling on the warning track. It just looked different. Now, my hope is that something was wrong with his hand, even in spring training, and he didn't know it yet. And then
let's hope so.
It carried on through the season. When he did go through this a couple of years ago with his other hand,
his
power numbers, it was the same thing. What's wrong with Jose?
Yeah. And he wasn't terrible the first half of the year.
No.
He was just
wasn't Jose.
For a regular player, he was above average. For Jose Ramirez, he was below average.
We've got guys. Where are the home run leaders? Over 30?
Yeah.
Yes, we did this yesterday.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
31 is the major
Schwarber
league
That's
baseball
insane,
league.
by the way. I mean,
The Guardians have
Jose's
two guys
at
with
10.
11 and two guys with 10.
Oh, my
That's
God.
the-
Yeah, now he might have. Maybe he would have had 15 if he hadn't gone on the IL. Who knows? Whatever.
I mean, he didn't. What did he miss? 5 weeks?
Yeah.
And he probably had played 8 weeks?
He played 70 games, so whatever that.
Okay, so that's
and they've
almost,
played 95 games. So he's I mean, he would have had more. But
are they? Was this your question?
Are they the favorites with a healthy Jose? No.
Yeah.
Are they the favorites to win the division with a healthy Jose? Yes. In my opinion.
Yeah.
Not to win the American League. No.
Yeah, I wondered when I saw this on the rundown last night. I thought, do we want to ask, are they the favorites in the Central?
Yeah.
And not
now,
the favorites in the American League.
The truth is, there's nobody in the American League that's that good that it's so crazy, but I wouldn't make them the favorites.
I agree with you, Bull, but there right now is a gap between the Rays and the Guardians. There's a big gap.
Yes, I don't buy that there's a big gap in talent, but there's a big gap in how they're playing.
In the standings, too.
There's a big gap in the standings,
and
yes, absolutely.
So I, under no circumstances can I sit here today and say, as constituted, even with Jose, are they the favorite to win the American League?
No.
But if I squint hard enough and I do enough mental gymnastics, I could say with a healthy Jose coming back, I think it'd be a smart bet to put money on the Guardians to win the Central because I still, even though I know that something magical is going on the south side of Chicago, Bull, I know that you're not completely
I wanted to look
in
at the
on them.
current odds of the AL Central.
I would imagine that the White Sox are slightly favored to win.
I don't know. I
don't know where they are.
I think the Guardians. I've thought all along, after that terrible Tiger start, that the Guardians were going to win the division. We'll see. I mean, listen, the Tigers have played better, obviously, but they did lose a series right before the break. I do think there's something interesting with the White Sox. The Tigers are in a very tough spot.
Absolutely.
Because the trade deadline's 17 days away.
And what do they do?
What do they do?
What do they do?
Because you can't, to me, if you're the Tigers, you can't stand pat.
No.
If you're going to keep Skubal, you got to go all in and make other moves.
Yes. Now,
to get better.
Do you remember 2 years ago?
Yeah.
When the Tigers sold at the deadline?
Yeah.
And then the Motor City caught fire. They were like, what are we doing here?
Right.
And really, I thought it was a smart play at the time. They were way out of the race.
Yeah.
And they got so hot in August and September that they came back to make the playoffs.
Yeah.
So, I mean, Skubal is a once-in-a-lifetime player.
Right.
And they're forced with making the decision of, do we keep him and rent him this year? Do we think with him we can win the World Series? Or do we unload him and get something for him? And I just think that if I'm running the Detroit Tigers, I got to get rid of him. I can't be left holding an empty bag if he goes.
I lean your way.
I hear you.
You know what he can get from the Dodgers? The Dodgers have all this talent.
I actually think the Brewers.
Well, the Brewers are in there too.
The Brewers have the best farm system in baseball, and they're desperate
But the
need.
Dodgers, I think the Brewers need him more than the Dodgers do. But the Dodgers are going for history. The Dodgers aren't just trying to win it this year.
No, I hear you.
They're trying to win a three-peat.
I hear
which doesn't happen anymore.
I just think the Brewers. I could see that. Remember, the Brewers got Sabathia when nobody thought it would be the
No,
Brewers.
I know.
And I could see them doing
All right,
something
if you're the
similar
Tigers,
this
are
year.
you trading them or are you keeping them?
I'm a gambler by nature. The American League is wide open. I would keep him, and I would go all in because now personally, I think the Tigers are overrated. I don't think their lineup is very good.
Yeah, we disagree on that.
I think a lot of their players have had hype and have not lived up to the hype offensively.
Yeah.
And I strongly believe the Guardians will win the division.
Okay.
And I'll tell you what, I think if you're the Guardians, you're hoping the Tigers don't trade him because then he walks away for nothing at the end of the year and they don't replenish.
I'm hoping they keep him and lose the division.
Right, exactly.
And get an empty bag in October.
By the way, not only is he a free agent at the end of the year, Casey Mize is a free agent.
I know. Yeah.
Jack Flaherty is a free agent, and so is their closer. He's not great at this point.
I know we got to go. We're going to do the World Cup final preview after the break.
Yeah.
Last thing on this. If they keep him, the Tigers win the division. I said that on June 22nd.
I don't think they will.
I
think if they keep him and buy to add.
I think if they keep him, they would
then
be buyers.
Especially if they got Mason Miller, who could be available,
that's
that would
exactly
be
right.
a difference maker.
All right.